Consensus declared.
Woo! Welcome to season 5, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to season 5 of Aquadac. We are here with Corellia and Space Wrangler Joe. Hello.
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 So last week we were thinking about what our topic is. If you're new to Aquadac, we operate on this fundamental belief that when we focus our attention on a shared desire, the manifestation effect is exponential, not just multiplicative. So with that in mind, we have a common theme for each season, and we're going to talk about that today, as well as get some updates on what we've been working on. We've been kind of slow picking this theme, so it's really important for us while we're here to have this space to sort of vocalize what we're working on, put energy forward into the future, and not just share with each other, but also align ourselves on what our goals are. And that's the magic. So without further ado, would you guys like to give like a little update on what you're working on? Maybe that would be a good way to transition and get better clarity about what the topics are. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Would you like, who would like to go first with their update?
Crickets.
Crickets. Okay, I picked Joe. What have you been up to, Joe?
Okay, so I have been working on some design stuff, and I've been really focused with that. But for me personally, outside of just kind of outside work, my personal stuff, I've been trying to keep up with NFtopia and my Fourth Wall Digital stuff. I have a booth on May 5th, the weekend of May 5th, and I'm trying to get all that lined up. I have the booth set up pretty much. I need to create some sort of a drop, like an NFT drop and some other things like swag to give out. But and I'm way behind on that, but I have some work to do, getting it ready, and I do have some people helping me out. So it's just a matter of getting focused and finding the time to do it. I have been making headway with my AI stuff. I just recorded a lecture last week for the AI film school I've been working with. 90-minute lecture. I pulled it off in like 4 hours of recording time. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good. And what else? Yeah, I'd say that's kind of an update. I might add something after I hear your guys' updates and kind of think, oh yeah, I should have mentioned whatever. But that'll be it for now.
Nice.
Awesome. Corellia, would you like to go?
All right. Yeah, that's good to know, Joe, that you're I guess putting your attention in many things, you know. I think that's a lot of different streams of work that you're doing right now. So that's congratulations for that.
Thank you.
I've been focusing on just not basically on a few things, which is finishing the proposal I was writing for this grant, art related to art. So I'm in the final phase, which is just reviewing the whole document and getting that ready in order to um, review the portfolio that I will send as well, and the CV and all this stuff that I have to include in the proposal as well. So yeah, it's been good. I've been working, yeah, taking some pauses as well, have some perspective on writing this document. And besides from that, have just a bit of improvement regarding this workshop slash retreat that I'm planning or organizing with a friend for June. So yeah, just like getting to um create, I guess, the schedule for how we're gonna um put this information in 3 days or something like that, and keeping sure that we are providing with something that we are capable of to provide, I guess. And yeah, that's been all. I guess there's another stuff that I probably was doing at the same time that I can remember right now, but minor things to fill up some of my other work and then just things like that. But mainly those two things I think there were main focus on um, during this past week. So yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. And it's good to hear your update on like, I know the grant, still a lot of things up in the air, but I look forward to watching with the retreat, because that sounds interesting, and it's like fascinating to me what goes into that, the logistics. So we look forward to seeing your progress here on Aquadac. And Joe, always so many things you're doing. I'm stoked that you're making progress in the AI training and getting some things pumped out. So for me, this past week, I've basically been landing in Medellin. I got here a week ago today, really. So it's like my first full week here. It's been good to get back to, I guess, the city workflow. I find that I do get a lot more work done here, but also it is like a major adjustment. So what I've been working on is really figuring things out with Aquarius Academy. I redid a lot of our Gumroad stuff. I've been putting a lot of energy into thinking about words, like what words do we use to signify a group of products. For example, I'm thinking of doing like subject simplified as like a series where we take sort of various subjects and then simplify them. And then, yeah, like working with Notion templates and sort of designing like what our Notion template will be for a path, which is like a journey that you go through on Aquarius Academy. And we hope to have different instructors and things like that on the way. And then you can kind of bump into these instructors, learn from them, and then continue on the path. All that is managed through a Notion page. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I've had some recent like confirmations in terms of like selling things on Gumroad. That reminds me like, yeah, there's lights at the end of the tunnel. You just got to keep going. At the same time, I've been trying to remain balanced. Like it is easy for me to go too far into work. So that's what I'm working on, trying not to work too much. I've also got a couple projects on the back burner. I'm doing a lot with CXC, trying to figure out how to get a ship node so I can run these bridge contracts so we can launch Purple on other blockchains. And then also a browser extension for our Blux token are the two big things I'm working on for that. So that's what I got. I would like to open the floor for any other sort of feedback real quick, chit chat, and then if there is none, or after that, we can jump over to talking what we want from this season, right? So not just a simple theme. we've been here for a while. We understand like what we're getting out of this, like as far as our own personal improvement and whatever benefit. So I'm open to hear sort of anything that you would like to see this season as well. So the floor is open both for like any sort of small feedback things. And then if there's none of that, we can go ahead and jump on to topics.
I guess I do have a little something to say about uh, the I guess the structure that you want to give to Aquarius Academy in general, like the Road and all the school and the teaching stuff. And I just while you were talking, I remember you a while ago share like a list of sort of like the outline of how you are picturing people coming in and getting to find what they I mean enough resources and information and teachers to be able to help them, and
Mhm.
so they can improve. So while you were talking, I thought of something like that it really makes sense in a sense of like I guess a lot of people but I mean each person has his own uh, goals and objectives regarding, let's say in this case, spirituality or like uh self-improvement, whatever, in all these areas. So I guess um just um just to understand, like it could be like for example, if I'm interested in I'm just gonna say random things like self-therapy and alchemy and breathing, breath work, right? So by selecting these sort of categories that I would like to learn, or I'm like inclined and passionate about, that motivate me to follow this knowledge. Um, so from that, I will be guided to a door where I can find teachers that are experienced in this, or books, or free, also free, I don't know, PDFs or resources that can guide me towards there and sort of uh, keep me going. Is that the point?
Sure. So I just shared my screen, and thank you so much for the question, because like I really love to talk about this stuff. And sometimes I don't, just because like I don't like to be too selly. Anyway, uh, so I have been putting a lot of thought into this. Like, what does that look like? How do we actually help somebody, right?
Mhm.
So my biggest problem in life is that I overcomplicate things, and I try to do all these other things, and I spend a lot of time just being like, okay, what's the core? Like, what's the core thing? And what I realized is a lot of times we're clicking a link and we're going to someplace on Notion, right? That's the sort of model that we're following, at least here at Aquarius Academy for this phase. So
Mm,
what that notion
right.
links to could be anything else. And what I'm sort of seeing is that each of these things, like you mentioned, like alchemy, that could be one path. And it's
Mhm.
unique because it's its own defined bounds of what it is, but the analogy is
Yeah.
like all these paths are still kind of going forward,
Yeah.
right? So within each path, I'm developing like this sort of this thing to keep students on track. And it's not done, but this is the general idea. Hopefully it will be on wax chains or on blockchain, so you have your little idea there. But you have your path itself, and then you have quests on that path. And this is just like an example, but you could add a new quest, or these would all be there like to begin with. So you would have like different different like courses or different resources right here. And then you would take a quiz to show that you've done it. And that will be in like eventually in Learn to Earn as well. So you will get crypto tokens for participating in that learning. But yeah, I hope this answers your question. I know it's like super basic. You can't really see what is going, but the idea is like, yeah, there are things within here, and then you can also do these quests, which are like a project, and like the project, this is like an example or like a little outline based really on Scrum to keep you on track to do projects as well. And then there would be like rewards for doing these projects to push people around along the path. And then what I also want is with the projects, let's say there's an alchemy project, and one of the projects is art alchemy. So your challenge is to make art alchemy. And then if you share that, so if you're sharing it on your social media, you're sharing it on the internet, then you can get a certain amount of the Aqua token for that. So not only is it just a path of learning, like, hey, download all these free PDFs, but there's challenges all through this one dashboard that you can sort of engage in like a non-structured way. And then as long as you're sharing it on social media, engaging with the Aquarius Academy community, we can give you a token reward for doing that, or, you know, also recognize you in some other way. So I know I was rambling a little bit. I got a little bit excited, but I hope that answers your question with some clarity.
Yeah, it does. It does. And yeah, I, just to finalize, because I think if we keep on going this, we're not gonna finish on time. But my last thing to say would be that I would like to also to be to have this I guess quest or you know challenges in order to maybe find people that are also interested in these kind of things and subjects, so you can actually collaborate and take this to the real world as well, and just not keep it like I'm here for the rewards or just to cheat the system. That, I mean, it's gonna be everything, but essentially like to actually create some, I don't know, some collaboration, cooperation, that's it.
I think it's a great idea, and let's do it.
Right.
Cool. So actually, while we're touching on that topic, I've been sort of teasing a Aquarius Academy team meeting to a few people. So that's probably going to happen perhaps this week. That's another thing I did want to talk about here is like what daytime works for you, Corellios, Space Wrangler. I don't know if you want to be involved in Aquarius Academy. Like further than this, you're more than welcome, but I also think you're probably really busy, so I will not take offense if you are not outside of Aquadac.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to join, but maybe after, I don't know. I don't know, I've been really busy. But perhaps I can join like next month or after that and see how it goes, and I can also yeah, contribute a little bit. I would like that.
Cool. Well, we will keep that line of communication going forward. Let's jump back. Okay, so time to talk about what we would like to focus on this season, as well as like anything that you see as a core benefit that you want to explore here. We are here for an hour and 20 minutes. Outside of like our checking in, our keeping ourselves back on track. I'm super down to experiment with different things. I mentioned the point system just as sort of like an idea last week. I'm happy to talk about that. and I'm happy to hear your ideas and what you think about these different topics, which I've just shared. I'll read them for the recording. So it's holistic project execution, productivity, and rhythms. These are 3 ideas that we're playing with.
Mhm. Let me see. I don't I remember we talked about sort of like uh, productivity, blah, blah, blah. Also like games or something like that, but I don't remember how it was related to which of these topics was related to that, or if that was an entire different thing.
Kind of both, actually. It is a different thing that's related to the topics. And yeah, I
Yeah.
want to talk about that. So one thing I think is really important in these groups is like the weekly win and the looking forward. Honestly, I'm happy showing up here as long as we're all aligning. And what aligning means to me is accepting the past, accepting the highest version of the past that we want to embody right now, and accepting the highest version of the future that we want to embody. So in a self-development group, to me, that means the weekly win, looking back and doing the weekly win, and then looking forward and doing like 1 to 3 deliverables. And that points thing that you were kind of referring to, that was related to those deliverables where we would assign those a number of points, which have to add up to 100. And then the next week we can just kind of be like, hey, last week I said I was going to do this, this, and this worth 80 points, 10 points, and 10 points. I did one of the 10 points and then none of the other ones, so I only get 10 out of 100 points.
All right. That's the game part.
Yeah, that was the game, was the points about like picking deliverables.
I see. All right.
So I'm open to more ideas. And also if that ideas sounds fun, like we can I guess do a consensus vote
Mhm.
in the most informal way. What do you think, Joe? How are you feeling about this season?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
Productivity is looking good to me. Uh, as far as the gamify aspect, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. How would it work?
So you would just pick up to 3 deliverables at the end of each week. And we kind of did this like last season, I think, where we just said, okay, here's what I'm going to work on this week. And then next week, there was the accountability of like, hey, did you do that? So this would be just to gamify that, where you pick 3 things that you say you're going to do in the upcoming week, and then you assign those yourself a points value that has to add up to 100. So if you just have one deliverable, you can say, okay, my deliverable is I'm going to do 3 freebies for Aquarius Academy. That's worth 100 points. And then it's either you got 0 or you got 100. And then the points, it's like they don't really matter. They could matter. We could do something with them, but that's the idea so far.
That sounds good to me. I like the 3 things and being held accountable. I think that's good. I think that's good, man.
Cool. And we got, it sounds like a vote for productivity. Corellia, what are you thinking about the topics as well as thoughts on the game?
Uh, I think it's fine. The because I guess by doing that, like you're keeping yourself productive, or you know, and in a way organizing your own time. and your rhythms. I guess that's where is it. That's why we mentioned rhythms as well, probably. And so yeah, I guess we can. I think like sharing our weekly green is like very. It's it's been very good to sort of eh, like a first like a way to understand what the other members of the group are doing, and sort of keeping up on a relation, shape with everyone else, and so I guess that's really good. And the deliverables that you're talking about, um I guess do they have to be three, and it's good that we set a number, or it's just like could be variable, or I don't know.
More than three, because like it's just like, if you're going down the laundry list of like, oh, I need to do X, Y, and Z, it's inefficient. So I think three is the maximum, but it could be just one,
Mhm.
or it could be two.
Yeah, I see. All right. Yep. Yeah, I think that sounds great. I think this is good.
And what do you
Yeah.
think? You agree on the productivity? I mean, I like the
Say,
productivity. So Joe says he likes the productivity theme. I do too, because
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
get productive, and like I said, like I'm in Medellin, I'm working, and yeah, so I'm happy with that. Sorry, what do you think, really?
I mean, I think it's fine. It's just I guess personally, lately particularly, I've been not trying to focus myself into be productive, because the moment I step on that sort of thing, for some reason, I speak for myself. I mean, it's I'm not. I tend to not put uh, too much effort in it. So I guess for me, like rhythm sort of applies more, because you're not setting yourself like to, I guess, just to be productive, and keeping myself. I'm waking up and thinking I'm gonna be productive. I'm going to sleep, and I thought of the productive things that I've done, instead of like, I guess, waking up and feeling like I'm feeling um that I can first tap into my own rhythm and what I'm feeling right now, la la la, and then just being capable of managing my own energy to, I guess, put it into this list of things that I feel really excited to do that day, right? So I guess it's more like that for me, because like, yeah. So I guess that's why I would say productivity now, and instead probably rhythms. And what else we said? I think we said holistic project execution. That also aligns with what I also said before. So within those lines, I think it would be fine. But majority wins, I guess.
Okay, well, also I like compromise. So I just shared three kind of compromise ideas. One thing I like is the idea of holistic productivity, because, like you said, sometimes when we're just trying to be productive, we're not the best version of ourselves, and then that ends up lowering our productivity as well. So we talked
Mm-hmm.
about last week about sort of like the word holistic, or just trying to convey that, okay, yeah, we do want to be productive, but we also want to be conscious of life and being human. So
Yeah.
three ideas to kind of shape that. I would vote for holistic productivity myself. I think that's still has the productivity, but also it's going to get us thinking each week, like, okay, not only do I want to report what I did, but I want to report like how I felt. Did I feel productive, or did I feel depleted at the end of the day? Right.
Yeah,
So that's
this is
my
really fun.
that's
Like
my
a nice
flag.
social experiment. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think wait, well, let me check out the options again. Status productivity, happy productivity, holistic productivity. Yeah, yeah, I guess holistic productivity sounds better than the rest for me.
All right, Joe, what do you think about holistic productivity? Would you like to finalize that and then we'll declare consensus.
Boom. Consensus declared.
Woo! All right, welcome to season 5, ladies and gentlemen, holistic productivity.
All right. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I guess like in the I don't know, during the past years probably the word productivity has gained like a sort of negative connotation for I don't know, I'm talking generally, right? And sometimes we feel good about it, sometimes we feel, like that, but then, again, like anything. So I always find in the middle and not just like condemn. It's like a word, like throw a word into the fire just because, it's like it was bad at some moment in our lives or something like that, and but instead like looking it from a different perspective, I guess like that's the that somehow can help us actually getting something out of it, right? Getting something good or positive, or not necessarily positive, but like just learning from that. So yeah, that's great.
Mm. Yeah, I heard something today about like effort versus struggle. Like we want our effort to be productive, but we want that productivity to be worthful or worthwhile. Otherwise, we're not honoring that. So anyway, let's
Hmm.
do the format. So we have a format now. We have a theme. I just shared the structure. So every meeting, we're going to do the weekly share, which we did in this meeting already. But we're going to add the report deliverables next week, and we will pick some deliverables this week before we go. We still have about 20 minutes, so think about what that would be. But we also have the weekly wins. So I think it would be nice to usually kind of end on the weekly wins, end on like a combination of the weekly wins and the goals. So let's go around in a circle, and I'm feeling let's do the goals first. So, and if it's not enough time and I'm putting you on the spot, I'm happy to go first. But let's start to play the game right here, right now. You can have 1, 2, or 3 deliverables, and then those can have a point value that can add up to 100 for all 3 deliverables. Any questions about that, or are we ready to try?
uh, I go ahead, you go ahead, and then I think um
Okay.
we're gonna have some time to elaborate actually.
All right, so I'm just going to do this on the fly, but I've got a lot of things that I want to get done, so this will be good to get myself aligned, which is the point of the group. All right, so I am gonna do a weekly win. Oh no, sorry, I said we're gonna do the goals first. So goals this week, number 1 is to have the Notion template for both the freebie and the path structure. So I showed a little bit about that path thing, although that's basically a template that I modified, and I'm still thinking there's a few views that I want. Number 1 is like I want to view where like there's a little picture of each of the resources on the path. And then for the actual freebies, I'm dividing those different freebies into categories, and then each one of those will have a Notion template. So deliverable 1 worth 50 points for me is those 2 Notion templates. And I'm gonna write it down so I can copy it and don't forget. Number 30, I'm gonna do, I need a ship node. I need an Antelope ship node solution, or I can't do my bridges, and I'm just trying to save cost and so I'm hoping to find somebody who just is running a ship node. It's something so small, but it allows me to do a lot of other things, and I'm kind of being held up by that. Finally, the last thing I want to do for 20 points is I want to do 1 freebie Academy, and that'll be worth 20 points. So those are my 3 deliverables for this week. And then we'll go around. Whoever wants to go next, you can share what your deliverables are. And then I think it's better to just do we'll do a closing circle with our weekly wins. That's cool.
Can you repeat that? I got a little bit interrupted before. I couldn't really hear what you said. The last part, just the last part.
So we'll do, whoever wants to go next can share their deliverables, and I was saying we can do a different circle for the weekly win, because I previously communicated kind of confused to do 2 things, but I think it's important to do 1 thing at a time and end on the weekly win because it's always a happy thing.
All right. I can go now. I wrote a little bit what I have to do for this week. Like the first one is to finish some paintings for my the art therapy formation, that I'm doing. I have a class on Saturday, so for that I have to get ready some stuff that of course I have to do. I mean, I don't think I have to do it because they don't ask you to present any sort of homework or anything, but I feel that I must finish certain in how you say informes, and inform, is that the thing? Sorry. Yeah, I have to just write about what is the I guess interpretation of certain paintings that I did in the last class, and that will be the first one. And the second one will be to do some research regarding the last subject that we that I from the last class that I did with these people. Sort of like a review of the subject that we just talked about, and complement it with extra information that I would like to also include in my notes and stuff like that. The third one would be to finish the proposal and have all the other requirements ready to file them as soon as possible. So I guess the points, what is the total of points that that they have to accumulate, or what is the total sum? 100.
Yep.
All
so
right.
if the proposal is most important, you could have that as 60 or as 80.
Yeah. I guess that would be 60 and 20 and 20. Yeah.
So the finished proposal, and then next week I'll probably have you do this, but the proposal is 60, the research and the writing about paintings is 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll write that there. And
Thank you.
then, cool. Anything else, or we can pass on to Joe?
That's it.
All right. So I am for deliverables for me. I am going to get this community site that I'm working on all up and running and looking good. And I am going to give myself 50 points for that. I am going to get a design done for a business kind of card, both print and digital. And I'll give myself 25 points for that. And I will, this is by next week. I will, I will update 2 of my personal websites. And I'm going to give myself, actually, I'm going to switch that. I'm going to make that one 30 points. And then the design thing, the middle one, 20. And those are my
Awesome.
3 deliverables for next week.
Yay! Oh, we're playing
Yay.
the game.
Nice. Very well.
Well, these are very, very, very concrete goals, and I feel like they're all things we need to do. So thank you guys for taking this seriously and for playing the game with us. It's great to see you, watch your progress. That's all I got for this meeting. I'd like to open the last couple minutes for any sort of chit chat, as well as any questions about Aquadac, any ideas, or Aquarius Academy as well. But that's what I got for this meeting. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, we forgot to do the weekly wins. Okay,
That was good.
cool. Well, we'll hold like a few moments for anybody who has any feedback or anything, and then we will end on the weekly wins. And please remind me if I ever forget to do the weekly wins, because I know sometimes I do, but they're really important to me. So yeah, space for any thoughts or anything, and then if not, let's jump into the weekly wins, and that'll be the last of the meeting.
Weekly wins is good to go. I'm ready.
Yes.
All right, well, Joe, you sound eager. How about leading us off with your weekly win?
My weekly win was just timing, working out great. Just being able to pull 2 part-time jobs, a lecture, and a festival in 1 week. And I
Wow.
really kind of stepped up for our group. We have like a transport guy who goes in and out of the festival to take our equipment and our contraband and all the things we need inside of the festival. And he, on day 2, was evicted from the property for public urination, which is kind of crazy, but I was able to step up and kind of take over that role for our group, and that was pretty cool too. So, yep, those are my wins for the week.
Awesome.
Okay, I guess I can go next. This are really big ones. I guess my win for the week was actually to finish the first draft of the whole proposal, like including the main goals, the objectives, like the phases and all the stages of the investigation or the project that I'm setting up, with putting dates and everything else, and explain what it's about. And then the personal reason of why I'm doing this, because that's what sort of like the structure that they're asking in general. And yeah, that would be like really good, like my win. And I guess it was I did it in like in the consecutive days, but at some point, like I felt that I was like pushing myself, like to tomorrow, and I will have to, no, I will wake up and then start doing it again. And at some point I felt like I was also losing some motivation to write it, and because I have, like, along with that, I have to do some research in order to put on a good proposal, right? So I guess the fact that I took the weekend to really stop doing it, and then just have 2 days at the end, just without looking at the document, and then I haven't the time to review it again yesterday, it was a great help, because actually my mind sort of like detached from the document, so I was able to really see it that like the way it is, and that really helped me. It really helped me to feel more inspired and actually communicate my passion and enthusiasm by writing the document, because I think that's also what these people are gonna get. It's not the words, but also like the energy that I'm transmitting with this thing. So that's important. So that's the win.
Oh man.
Yeah. Cool. For me, my weekly win was just making music with Hombre Solar. I finally got to see him in real life again. So we hung out, and then a couple guys came over and we worked on some music. And it was a lot of fun. So there's other stuff that I'm doing, but I don't feel like anything's crystallized enough for a weekly win. So hopefully next week I'll have more Aquarius Academy wins. That's all I got, guys. That's all for this first official seasonal themed episode of season 5 of Aquadac. Thank you so much for joining us and for standing up for yourself. And as we become better versions of ourselves, we inspire those around us. So thank you not just for being here, but for all the people that will help in the future just by being yourself. Any last words or else?
No, thank you guys for sharing your goals and your ideas as well. Very happy. Woo!
Yeah, thank you guys.
Have a nice week.
You too. Good luck.
Big hug.